Guerilla Cricket. Whoa.
Good morning, good afternoon, good dawn, good dusk, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Guerilla Cricket. We have left the claustrophobic confines of Sydenham for the more sumptuous surroundings of the Royal Opera House. Why, I hear you ask me? Well, we are here to talk to the principal dancer of the Royal Ballet, Alexander Campbell. Why, you say again? Because let's face it, cricket and ballet, do they go together? Well, they do, in the form of Alexander Campbell. He could have been a cricketer. He could have been out there first day at the Gabba facing Broady and Jimmy Anderson. We're going to find out more about this. See you in a minute. Alexander, it's great to have you along. Welcome you to Guerilla Cricket.
Thank you.
Ballet and cricket, people wouldn't automatically put them together. How did it work in your family?
Well, I think it was just because I was exposed to the two disciplines from an early age. My dad was heavily involved with New South Wales cricket, and my grandparents on my mum's side were both professional ballet dancers, right. And my grandmother, when I was growing up, was teaching at a ballet school in Sydney. So I had an opportunity to see both ballet and cricket, and I enjoyed them both.
So which came first for you? Which was your first love?
Well, I think one of the earliest memories I have is walking around the Sydney grade cricket grounds with Dad. And I love that, as an opportunity to spend time with him, and also, there's just something great about being around cricket grounds and watching cricket. So that's one of the earliest memories I have. And then ballet, I remember going into the studios when I was about 5 or 6 and doing steps, but not, too much memory of that. And I did both of them from an early age and was able to do both up until the age of maybe 13 or 14, where it became clear that if I wanted to become a professional ballet dancer, I had to put more time into it, and so other things had to give way. One of those things was cricket, and I had to think long and hard about that because it seemed like a massive sacrifice.
And you were, I think you were a batsman, weren't you, growing up? You were a left-handed batsman. I mean, how difficult it was to give that up? At what level were you playing at that point?
So it was junior level, so 14 years of age, but representative stuff.
Right. State level, are you talking about, or just?
14, we don't play state. No. Club stuff. Right. And a couple of times, they say, "Oh, come and trial for the next level," but I say, "Oh, I can't." Wednesday and Thursday I'm at ballet. What do you mean you're at ballet? But I could literally only play the games. On the weekend, I couldn't go to training and stuff.
Did you have friends who sort of saw this as a strange double life, or did they not know about the ballet side of your life, the cricket, to people you worked with?
The close friends that I had, they knew, and they were really supportive. Right. I had a great bunch of friends growing up, and there was never any issue there. There were other people on the team who maybe I wasn't so close to, who didn't know until later on when I left to go to London, for instance. Right. What, are you doing ballet? Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. But no, I was fortunate. I was always very well supported by friends and family.
And how do you think you could have gone as far in cricket as you've done in ballet?
Well, I think one of the things that ballet taught me was you need a lot of hard work and discipline to get there. And I think that had I put that same amount of hard work and dedication into something else, I would have given myself a good opportunity to do well. But it's impossible to say, and when you're 14, you don't have to face too many, really fast short pitch bowling. So that might have turned me off.
So what does it mean that you're a principal dancer? I mean, does that mean you get all the starring roles?
Yeah, principal dancer of the company is the top rank. So you'll take the lead roles in all the major productions. I suppose you're an ambassador for the company in a lot of ways as well. It's the very top. It's like playing Test cricket.
And did you feel you were always going to get to the top in ballet?
I'd always hoped, and always worked hard with the aim to get there. You can never be certain. You obviously need a bit of luck and some decisions to go your way, so I just kept working and hoping.
Now, looking forward to this winter's Ashes, how do you see it panning out? What are the crucial battles in your mind?
Well, I think neither side is settled going into the series, which makes it interesting and also makes it difficult to make any predictions because, I don't really know who's batting 3 for Australia, and I can't think of the last time I'd have said that. Who's batting 3 for Australia? We don't know. And similarly, there are question marks over England's lineup as well. I think home advantage is a real big thing at the moment, because we don't have a lot of lead-in time, not a lot of practice games. So I think Australia will get there. But I did have a look at the schedule, and Brisbane goes into Adelaide, doesn't it? And Adelaide,
right.
Adelaide's the pink ball test, and I think Brisbane and Adelaide are probably the two places that England would probably fancy themselves. So if they get on a roll there, then we're in a bit of trouble.
Crucial battles in your mind. Who do you see? Who are you looking forward to seeing?
I'll be interested to see how Mitchell Starc comes back. He's had a bit of time off with injury, so I'm looking forward to seeing how he goes. I think he generally prefers probably short form white ball, so the pink ball might be really good in his hand. I think England probably need a lot of runs from Cook and Root. I think everyone's saying that, but that's kind of how it is at the minute, isn't it? But the same for Australia though. Warner and Smith, they've scored a stack of runs for Australia recently, and it probably needs to continue.
How would you keep in touch as a dancer with the Ashes, and how do you generally keep in touch with cricket around your professional life? Is it easy for you?
I watch as much as I can, when I get home, catch up on the highlights and stuff. On my phone sometimes, checking up on the scores. One of the best times I followed the Ashes was in Japan, online. And I got a call from my dad, or a text message saying, "Oh, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm just watching the Ashes." And it was the game where Ashton Agar got picked out of the blue and scored, was it 98, I think? Phil Hughes got 80. So it was a great game to watch, and it was very bizarre looking outside and thinking, gosh, I'm in Tokyo right now.
I guess there weren't too many other people in Tokyo wanting to watch the cricket.
No, when I went downstairs and spoke about the amazing innings that Ashton Agar played, no one knew what I was talking about.
Is the Royal Ballet a cricket-free zone? Does anyone in the company share your love? Is there anyone that you can banter about the Ashes with?
Well, a good friend of mine in Birmingham Royal Ballet, Jonathan Payne, is a massive cricket fan, and so we keep in touch, and we often talk about what's going on. He actually always seems to get in touch when England get up, actually.
Funny that.
But not a lot, but there are a few, yeah.
So with this particular Ashes, when it comes along, are you going to be able to stay up through the night to watch it, or are you just going to be watching the highlights? I mean, I guess you've got a pretty busy schedule this winter.
It's a very busy time of year for us.
Right.
With a lot of performances, a lot of different productions. So it's not an ideal time to stay up all evening watching. So I'm hoping there'll be good highlights packages, and I can just tap in the morning and see what's going on.
So who are your biggest heroes? Are they in ballet, or are they in cricket, or are they in both?
A bit of both, really. In cricket, I grew up watching the likes of Michael Slater, Mark Waugh, Michael Bevan being left-handed was a big hero of mine. And then ballet, I was exposed to videos of Mikhail Baryshnikov, one of the greatest dancers ever. So I sort of had dual heroes.
Do you know of many other people that are from the cricketing fraternity that are showing an interest in ballet?
It's not a usual thing, I suppose. It doesn't come along every day. I had a great moment just a few weeks ago where the librarian of Cricket New South Wales sent an email to my dad because there was an article in a cricket magazine that I was in with some ballet shots, and he sent it to Dad and said, "Oh gosh, is this your son? This is the guy you've been talking about. Glad to hear he's been going well." And that was a really nice sort of collision of the two worlds.
So, can you be Glenn McGrath on this particular occasion and give us a scoreline, you think, for the Ashes this year?
Well, if I'm Glenn McGrath, it's like 7-0, isn't it? I'm going to go 2-1 Australia. I think we will get up because we're at home, but no great confidence there.
Would you have any chance to fly home to see any of the series?
Of the series? No, not this year. It's something that I'd love to do, and I have great memories of attending the Sydney Test match as a kid. It's a great atmosphere, and something I really want to do in the future.
Okay, well, on Guerilla Cricket, we often ask a few sort of little humorous questions of people, hopefully nothing too scurrilous that the Royal Opera House won't allow in the final edit of this. But what I thought would be quite entertaining is the most stereotypical macho Australian thing you've done. Because you know about David Boone drinking his 38 cans of lager, you know about, surfers Sheep shearing, have you done anything like that?
I've not done any sheep shearing. I was thinking about this question, and probably the most stereotypically macho thing I've had to do is when I went up and stayed with Dad's side of the family in the country, and they had cattle. And as a rite of passage, they said, right, you just got to round up this cattle. And they just threw me out in a paddock with a whip, which they'd taught me how to crack.
Right.
And I had to go and just round this cattle and move them from one paddock to the other. Yeah, I felt pretty macho then.
do you play at all now? Do you get a chance to, or is everything so sort of delicate you don't injure anything? I mean, do you get a chance to wield the willow occasionally?
I've had 2 occasions recently to play. I played for the Royal Opera House team. They got a team together. The first reason was to get a team to play against Glyndebourne.
Oh, right.
And Glyndebourne, they play reasonably regularly. The Opera House used to have a team going back 10, 15 years ago, but hadn't formed for a while, but we managed to get an 11 together, and I got the call up, and it was great fun. We went along. Unfortunately, we didn't get the win, but no, it was a great day.
So what do you think cricketers could learn from dancers and vice versa?
Well, I think the main thing that I find helped me with my cricket from dancing perspective was just general coordination, timing, being able to execute the same skill over and over again. With ballet, we do so much repetition. We become very, what's the word I'm looking for? Efficient at what we do. And I think that, that really helped with my cricket, because I just said, okay, well, if I want to get good at something, I just have to do it over and over and over again. And then cricket-wise, I mean, the level of fitness the cricketers have now is amazing. And the agility they have, the way they move around the field now is incredible. So their training and their fitness levels, I think, things that we could aspire to, certainly.
What about nerves? I mean, in terms of cricket, people often talk that they need to be a little bit nervous, they need to be a bit anxious to perform their best. Do you find that happens in ballet, that you need to be a little bit psyched up before you go on stage?
Yeah, certainly. I'd feel very strange if I was about to go on stage without some sort of nervous feeling going on, and that goes with being under pressure to perform at a high level, and difficult skills under pressure. It's not easy. So yeah, I think that's something that I certainly thrive on.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Alexander.
Thank you.
Darryl Hare.